Hey, people, what's good? What's good? Professor Khalil Amani. I normally don't work on Mondays, but I'm here because they said, do you want 8 hours of overtime? I said, hell yeah. That's a big, big payday. So I'm working 6 straight days starting with today. Today's not overtime, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then next Saturday when I work my 8 hours, that's overtime plus weekend pay. So yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I should be off today, but I'm here. But anyway, did a great video yesterday. Hopefully Mano and Jim Jones and Fabulous and those folks will check it out. I tagged them. Check it out. Hell, they might even respond. Hell, they might want to bring me on the show. Hell, I don't know. I don't really care. I'm not a whore for YouTube or to be on people's channels and get their interviews because y'all know people. Khalil Amani. I've been on count them. I've been on six national TV shows. 6 national TV shows. So I'm not pressed to go on anybody's YouTube channel for an interview like that nigga, Israel Doctrine, a real YouTube whore. But I thought I'd come out. This is not a vehicle violation. It's just me talking for a few minutes. So this morning I was checking out. I woke up and looked at Israel Doctrine's channel. Like he has 3 videos he put up to just this morning about, the huddle, the pre or the before YouTube era. Before YouTube era, they had something called the huddle. Some shit you had to pay for. I understand. Nigga had to pay to talk back then on Blog Talk Radio. I don't know what it was, $39 a month, some shit like that. I wish a nigga like me would pay to talk to people. That's some sucker shit. Some sucker shit. I don't know. They say Sonetta used to be a part of Blog Talk and other folks used to be part of Blog Talk. But I remember Blog Talk back in the day, and I know exactly why I was never on Blog Talk, because if I got to pay to talk to you, I got to pay some niggas to be on their little Blog Talk radio show. Kiss my ass. But Israel Doctrine, he's such a whore to be heard. He's such a prostitute to be heard that I guess back in the day he was shelling out $40 a month that he could have been fixing up his mother's house to talk, and nobody was listening. Oh, that nigga came on this morning with 3 videos about before the YouTube era. I mean, he really thinks he did some shit back then. I said, I was here before everybody. I was here before YouTube. I was here doing the Blog Talk when we had to pay $39.95 to be on the radio, to be on the Blog Talk. Nigga, that's no accomplishment. If you got to pay to talk, that's a sad thing. But what gets me with Israel Doctrine is his commentary and his subject matter. I mean, the nigga even brought up Khalil Amani and my mother's situation. Y'all know, I told a story that when I was 10 years old, my mother had an adulterous affair with this man. She stayed married. Life went on. My father never found out. It was a small thing. It was a bump in the road in my mother's life and in my life. But Israel Doctrine today, he was on there talking about, Khalil Amani, because his mother was an adulterer. His mother, because I'm trying to clean up the community. He's got this thing about community. Community cleanup. We're going to clean up the community. First thing is, it's a phantom ideal. The ideal of community is phantom. In other words, it really doesn't exist. It's an intangible, non-objectified. You can't put your finger and your hands on this community that he speaks about. But going beyond the fact that he comes on Blog Talk Radio and then goes on YouTube, and he has a hard-on for the so-called community and making it better and making it right. And then he brings up Khalil Amani and my mother and what happened to my mother back in 1970 before he was born, and I was only 10 years old. He brings that shit up. He brings that shit up, my mother's infidelity, as proof that we need to clean up the community. But here's the fucked up thing about Israel Doctrine. He doesn't take any account for his own life. Now, Israel Doctrine tells us the story that once upon a time, he committed adultery with a married woman. And he says that he thinks he impregnated her 2 times. Why doesn't he use his own story as a part of this community cleanup, but wants to refer to Khalil Amani's mother's infidelity like he's clean? You know, they say charity begins at home and then spreads abroad. You know, they say people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. You know, they say, judge not, lest ye be judged. For with the measure that you judge, you shall be judged by that same measure. That's Israel Doctrine, pointing the finger at Khalil Amani's mother, when in fact, he was an adulterer, he was a fornicator, he was a deadbeat dad, that he had 2 children out there. I mean, community starts with home. Community starts with self. This nigga comes on Blog Talk Radio and then YouTube talking community when the bitch nigga won't even clean up his own familiar community. We've heard his story. Oh yeah, I was messing with this woman, then I found out she was married, but I got her pregnant anyway. And I think she got 2 kids from me, and I was gonna kill her if she aborted my kids, but she said she was gonna abort my kid, and I was laying in the bushes waiting at her house. I was gonna kill the bitch, but she ain't kill her. She had the baby. Well, if you knew that she had your baby, and if you were sure that this was your baby, how come Israel Doctrine doesn't go and knock on her door and say, I want to be a part of my child's life? You got all this fake bravado and pseudo care and concern for this phantom YouTube community. Blog Talk Radio. But in the real world, in your own motherfucking life, where community first starts, you won't fix your own communal situation with the 2 children that you allege are in America, between Parkin, Arkansas, and Chicago. You told us these stories. But when you want to talk about how fucked up the community is, you want to refer to Khalil Amani's adulterous mother. You're a hypocrite, my nigga. When you want to talk about the bad things that go on in the community, and you want to use as your example a black woman in 1970 that once had an affair on her husband, but you walking around America with 2 whole babies, 2 whole children that you ain't never gave a fuck about. I'm not mad, I'm just being a little dramatic. I'm just showing you how hypocrites talk. Motherfuckers got boogers hanging out their nose, but telling you that you got a booger hanging out your nose. Nigga wants to say Khalil Amani's adulterous mother when you yourself were an adulterer because you were fucking a married woman, and not only were you fucking her, you got her pregnant allegedly 2 times. Nigga's 49 years old. The nigga is 10 months shy of 50 and won't go and doesn't care to know who those children are that he fathered with a so-called married woman. But he want to talk about community and what's wrong with it and how we're going to clean it up. And let me tell you about Khalil Amani's mother who had an affair way back in 1970. You fucking hypocrite. You're just a hypocrite, my nigga. You're living in a fucking glass house and trying to throw rocks at Mama Clark. Well, I can't believe this. I can't believe that this nigga comes on. See, Israel Doctrine, he's in no moral position to talk about community cleanup. Until this bitch nigga goes and finds his wayward children and reconnects and apologizes and makes amends and tries to have a relationship with the 2 children that he fathered from a married woman, you adulterous bastard, you. Talking about Mama Clark, you're an adulterous bastard too. But until you go and make it right with the 2 children that you say you fathered, you are in no moral position to talk about community cleanup. You are in no moral position to talk about what's wrong with the black community, because you are what's wrong with the black community. Wayward fathers, deadbeat black men, niggas who make babies but don't take care of them. You, Israel Doctrine, are one of those people. A black man who made black babies who walked away from the situation. And you got every excuse why you're not in their life. You blaming the mother. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what obstacles or stipulations that this black woman put on you. You are those children's father. But like the bitch nigga you are, you copped out and walked away after your adulterous affair, only to show up in the age of social media and blog talk radio and YouTube and start a campaign about community cleanup and what's wrong with the black community, when you are the fucking symptom and you are the disease in the community. You are everything that you talk about. You and Miss Troutmouth. Both of you niggas. She's over there. Your ex-queen that you just shitted on. She's over there with the whole prostitution jacket. 2 times arrested for prostitution. She's over there with a whole child abusing, I lost my child to the state of Alabama jacket. But you niggas try to reinvent yourselves as kings and queens on YouTube. But in your real life, in your real world, you niggas are failures. You're failures at being a father. You're a failure at being a mother. You're a failure at being a parent. You 2 niggas, the king and queen, Israel Doctrine, and that woman, you niggas are what's wrong with black America. I just wanted to come on and talk a little shit, that's all, y'all. I mean, I was listening to him this morning he put up three videos this morning. Them motherfucker, I didn't listen to all of them. I listened to about 2 minutes of each one. Talk about a boring snore fest. Oh, that nigga is not charismatic or gregarious. That nigga is listening to him back in his blog talk days, as he is now today. It's like watching paint dry on a wall. That nigga was boring as fuck. That nigga had he was monotone. No inflections in his voice. No highs and no lows, just lows. But I just wanted to come on and say this. Isn't it amazing that the nigga that allegedly fathered 2 children but ain't never seen him or took care, he might have seen him, but never took care of him. They don't know who he is. He don't know who they are. He's out here on a campaign, making his business to shine the light on people like Khalil Amani's mother and her infidelity from 1970 as an example of what's wrong with the black community. Wives who have affairs on their husbands. Talk about a nigga who living in a glass house throwing rocks. My God. And that's really why, even today, that's really why Israel Doctrine has nobody. He can boast that he has 8,000 subscribers. We know those are bots. We know those are YouTube bots and, troll accounts and shit like that. Because if you have 8,000 subscribers, surely you will have 10 or 15 people that connect with you daily and comment when you go live. He goes live every day and nobody shows up. Every now and then some nigga named AC something. But that's 8,000 subscribers and you can't get 5 people in your live. Come on, my nigga. But people like Israel Doctrine, they have nothing. In the real life, in the real world, they're fucked. Israel Doctrine just told us a week ago. He finally told us about what happened to his mother's house. We know he ran the place down. We know that the roof had a hole in it, that the gate in the front yard was torn up, and the grass had overgrown, potholes in the floor and in the walls. We know. But he finally came out and told us that he sold his mother's house to his brother. And he left a lot of shit in his mother's house. And get this, his brother won't let him come back to get his shit. That's telling in and of itself. This is your blood brother, and you can't go to the house where you took care of your mother before she died, and your brother won't let you come in the house to retrieve your belongings. You're supposed to be so big and bad. But Big Bruh said, bitch nigga, you can't come back here. You better not come back here. That's the story Israel Doctrine tells us. He says that he sold his mother's house to a sibling, to a brother. He says that his brother won't let him come and get his belongings, his property. What's that about? What is that about? But he's on this campaign of community, cleaning up the community. Why do niggas come on camera to talk about cleaning up the black community, but in their real world, in their own lives, it's fucked up, it's in disarray? This the same nigga, Israel Doctrine, that used to say, Khalil Amani, you should go to the FBI, Hassan Campbell, you should set up a charity. Always pointing and trying to direct motherfuckers and tell people how they should run their life. But when you look at their lives, they can't even keep a little house from going under. They can't even keep relationships with their siblings together. Got an older brother who says, you better not bring your monkey ass back to this house. No, nigga, you're not getting shit out of this house. But he's on here talking on his community blog talk radio, and he's got this hard on for cleaning up the black community. When he got 2 whole children in the world, he won't even he don't even care to make it right, to fix it, but would rather blame that woman, would rather blame the mother of those 2 babies as to why he's not in their lives. I'm just talking my shit, y'all. Yeah. I heard him this morning. I didn't even listen to the whole thing, but the one part I did hear, he brought up Khalil Amani, and he brought up my mother's adulterous affair. Imagine that. A nigga who himself had an adulterous affair with a married woman and impregnated her twice and walked away from 2 babies. Out here talking about what's wrong with the black community. Out here as a crusader. He's a fucking crusader. Captain, save a black community. But in his own life, in his own real world situation, he won't go save the 2 children that he fathered with his own adulterous relationship. And so as I close, when you hear a bitch nigga like this, when you hear a bitch nigga like Israel Doctrine talk about the black community and what's wrong with it, just remember he's a victim, he's a product, he's everything wrong with the black community. Because if charity starts at home and then spreads abroad, that means charity is you fixing your own life with your own children before you go abroad on Blog Talk Radio or go abroad on YouTube to try to be a captain, fix the black community when nigga you ain't fixed your own personal life. And with that, y'all, I hope you fathers had a great Father's Day. I did. We are real fathers. And as I said yesterday on my Happy Father's Day address, I said even people like Israel Doctrine, it's not too late. Although his children are late teens, might even be 18, 19, it's still not too late for Israel Doctrine to seek out his 2 children and try to fix that relationship. But he won't, because he thinks it's more important to try to fix my relationship, to try to fix your relationship, and your relationship, and your relationship, and your relationship. He thinks he can clean up and fix the YouTube community, black community, situation and problems, but don't look at his. That's why he's a hypocrite. Because if you don't clean up your own house before you try to clean up somebody else's house, you're just a hypocrite. With that, y'all, Professor Khalil Amani, I'm going to try to talk about the R-word, the N-word, nigger versus cracker between today and tomorrow. We'll see. Talk to you soon. Peace.